Devon Larratt has arrived in Istanbul, and when he landed, he was still weighing around 114 kilos. So 9 more kilos to go until he reaches the 105 kg weight cap for the Oleg Petrenko world title super match. Devon has cut this much weight in the past without any trouble, but he knows that this time it is going to be more difficult because he was already in a carb depletion state, and from there he has to cut 9 more kilos of water weight. This is something that he has never done before. But despite that, he is very confident that he is going to cut this weight without much trouble. But actually there was one trouble. He lost his baggage at the airport. And even if you don't have to cut 9 kilos of water weight, anyone can imagine how painful it must be to go into a foreign country and lose your stuff. But thankfully we have Engin Terzi, who immediately took care of the stuff that Devon needed, and it has already been provided to Devon. So I think on match day, Devon is going to be at least as heavy as he was when he landed in Istanbul, which is about 114 kilos, and maybe even more. I've talked with Paulin about these weight cuts, and when Brendan Alcesser competed against David Samusia, the weight cap was 88 kilos. He made the weight, and next day he was about 100 kilos. So if Brendan Alcesser can gain about 12 kilos after rehydration, I think Devon can do that too. There are 2 things that Devon is absolutely sure of. In fact, 3 things. Number 1, that he is going to make weight. Number 2, that he is going to defeat Oleg Petrenko. And number 3, that he is going to call out Denis Cyplnekov for a left arm match right after defeating Oleg Petrenko. I hope this third one doesn't happen because it is going to look very awkward. Just imagine Denis is sitting there, Devon is calling him out, and obviously Denis isn't going to accept. We recently saw in a Body Mania video, there was one practice pull which Denis showed on the left arm, not more than that, but his left isn't looking huge. He is in no shape to compete on the left arm. The entire arm wrestling community is sharing Elon Musk's video talking about arm wrestling. So let me show you a few seconds of that clip, and I'll link the full video in the description.
Have you ever looked into the sport of arm wrestling?
Oh yeah, arm wrestling. I have looked at, not in depth, but I have looked into it. And for a while there, I did actually read up on it, and actually various techniques for how to win at arm wrestling, which is a lot of it is, get your angles to
So this question was asked by Paul Lynn's buddy and his teammate Andrew Mayersky, and it isn't like Elon is into arm wrestling or something. We shouldn't get overexcited by that. Yes, the richest man in the world is talking about arm wrestling. Maybe we can find a lead from here. Maybe we can get him interested into watching a match or two. Maybe he funds something. So these are just dreams. But basically what he was trying to say in that clip, as far as my understanding, is, yeah, I've seen a few clips of arm wrestling and then that's it. Khaled Jashell is on a mission to try every single sport except for the one where he's naturally talented at, which is obviously arm wrestling. So he recently tried slap fighting. The video was posted by Dana White himself on his Twitter account, and he got knocked out cold. People were talking about how massive Khaled's hands are. He's going to kill somebody in slap fighting. No, he didn't even get a chance to slap someone because he got KO'd in the first round. Yes, there were some wrong calls made by the referees in the schoolboy match, but tell me, just after a couple of years of arm wrestling, Khaled was showing us hook, king's move, top roll, tricep press, flop press, basically every single arm wrestling move that you can name. I don't see him being equally talented in MMA or slap fight. We have clear examples of that. So come back to arm wrestling Khaled. The Asian Arm Wrestling Cup, which is not to be confused with Asian Arm Wrestling Championship because it includes only Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, Jordan, Thailand, Singapore and India. These are the nations that participated. It happened from 21st to 26th of October. I had my eyes glued on the event, especially on the star athletes from Indian Arm Wrestling, especially Aabhas Rana and Denis. You may not have heard the name Denis, but whenever I do a live stream, there is rarely a single live where somebody doesn't ask me about what level Denis is at. And now we have seen that he won gold medal on the right arm in the 80 kilos division in this Asian Arm Wrestling Cup. Yes, the level is not as high as European Arm Wrestling Championship and definitely not as high as World Arm Wrestling Championship, but Kazakhstan was competing there. Over 100 athletes came from their country. So the level was good, at least twice as good as the Indian Arm Wrestling Nationals. And then later on, Denis was practice pulling with Nurdolat Aider Khan. Nurdolat gave him everything in the setup, then let him hit. And then Denis was able to pin him. Still, Nurdolat was taking it absolutely easy without any strain on his face. It happened a couple of times. But when he went serious, he pinned Denis like he isn't even there. So the level of Indian arm wrestling is improving. I'll say that if there are 5 levels, and Nurdolat obviously has to be on the 5th one, because even on a bad day the guy is like number 3 at 85 kilos in the world. On a good day maybe he can even beat Samushia and become the number 1 guy. So he's that good. I don't think there is anyone in India, including Mazahir, who can beat Nurdolat in a super match. But I'll say that the Indian arm wrestlers are approaching a level below that, which is level 4. This is the level that you will see, for example, let's say in Canada or USA. That kind of level I think we will have in at most 1 or 2 more years in our country. For the international level, I'll say it will still take at least 5-6 more years. Aabhas Rana didn't compete in the seniors. He competed in his age category, which is below 18, because he's 16 years old. And let's be honest, nobody from Kazakhstan at any weight who is below 18 years old is going to stop Aabhas Rana. So he won a couple of golds quite comfortably. Yogesh Chaudhary, who is the national champion from India, she won 4 gold medals, 2 in the senior division and 2 in the masters division. She's been arm wrestling for 4 years and already pretty dominant. But this year in the Champions of Champions, which is the overalls as they call it in USA and North America, she lost to another female arm wrestler who lost to another arm wrestler, and there she is winning the Asian Cup. So this level in the super heavyweight female division also seems to be good for my country. Shreya won a couple of golds. I think she also competed in under 23. Overall, I'm really happy. Tons and tons of medals for the Indians. The main competition was obviously between Kazakhstan and India, and I think India did pretty good. Thanks for watching. Like the video and subscribe.